Today, we're going to learn about strings. So a string is any type of character inside of quotation marks. These characters can be letters, numbers, emojis, symbols, anything, as long as it's encapsulated by quotation marks. Notice here, there's our three examples of strings. We have on the left side Vader, and we have Lou Malnati's, which is a place, and we have a blank space inside quotation marks. In Swift, strings usually show up red.
Okay, so we just learned a little bit about strings, so let's kind of see just strings in action. So what we're going to do, we're going to pop up our keyboard and we are going to type a print. So if you look at the menu bar here, the option right here is print, and we are going to add some quotation marks to make a string. We are going to print a name, okay, and we're going to run our code, okay. So if you notice over here, it'll show up and you could add the viewer.
So I'd also like to have you take notice that now this is being done on my computer, and usually for when we do print on a computer, whatever you print is going to show up down here, and this area down here is called the console. Now on your iPad, you don't have one, so when you run your code, it's just going to show up over here. Okay, so no matter what you are putting in as far as the print, you can put in any string you want. You can change it from name to another name. You can add a second print to print another message, and printing is really just a way to communicate, right? It's to talk to the person who's reading the console, all right? So we are printing a message, essentially, is what we're doing. We can say instructions, please go to the store. We can print basically kind of whatever we want, and it doesn't matter what we put in the quotation marks. The fact is that everything that we are typing now inside quotation marks is we are printing strings, okay? So please understand and associate the red color and the quotation marks are what goes into strings. Strings also include, like I said, spaces. So for a print statement, we are going to use the word print. And then remember, anytime you use a print statement, we are going to use parentheses, and that is going to encapsulate whatever we are going to print. So inside the parentheses, we are going to put something to print. And in this case today, we've been learning how to print strings. The final difference that we are going to talk about today are numbers. Numbers can be both strings and integers. The difference being is that an integer has no quotation marks around it, where the string does. Let's take a look at this in action. So we're going to do a couple prints just to take a look at it. So we're going to print numbers, okay, as strings. And notice that 4 plus 5 as strings equals 4 plus 5. We could also do a string like this where we could print, or not even print, but we could do 4 plus 5, and it'll be 45, because it is adding the strings together, as opposed to where if we did it in the same style, we do print and we do 4 plus 5, okay, and we run it, it's going to be 9, and then we could do 4 plus 5 out here, and we'll get the same result, 9. So notice how you make it a string, it'll take everything inside the quotation marks, okay? Here, it'll take the two strings and put them together and make one string. And then here and here, notice how the 4 plus 5 as integers, okay, actually add the numbers together. Let's take a look at what string interpolation does. Notice the symbol on the screen, / and 2 parentheses. Okay, so let's take a look at another print. So answer 4 plus 5. All right, so answer 4 plus 5. And it's going to give us this. Now, if we wanted to, let's add a print. if we wanted to have those numbers, okay, actually add inside, we are going to do a method called string interpolation. Okay, so notice, whoops, what this does. Okay, I'm adding in extra stuff. So answer 9. Okay, so notice how inside it actually does this. So this could be used in a lot of different ways. We could create a constant that let name equal, and then we're going to have it equal my name. And then there could be a print message. And let's do let name 2 equal Nelly G. I think some of you guys know who Nelly G is. And then if we had a bunch, let's say we had 100 of these, welcome to class today, and then we are going to do the front slash, and then we're going to put a name. So here we're going to put a name, and then we're going to copy and paste this. So sometimes you can copy and paste, and then we're going to add in name 2, and then we're going to run our code. And notice that I have an error here because there can't be a space in between the name and number 2. It all has to be one word. And notice I'm getting an error here because I didn't add parentheses at the end of my print statements, because once you open with one set, you got to close with the other set. And then we'll notice, welcome to class today, Steve, and then welcome to class today, Nelly G. So notice how it will take whatever value is inside here and change it. Now, if I changed the name to a number, it'll pretty much do the same thing. It'll throw anything that you have if you use this method called string interpolation inside your string. Okay, so that is kind of the final thing I'm going to teach you today.